This is, they're stretched out compared to us, where ours is kind of underneath us, like this, right? So here's the gyri and the sulci, or the little invaginations, the bumps are the gyros, right? And then here's that longitudinal fissure. And then this is the cerebellum, right? So this, right in the middle of the cerebellum, right there, that's their, what is it? It looks like a worm.
Oh, yeah.
Vermis, right? So that's the vermis. It's bigger, see, than it is in us. But here's your two halves of your cerebellum here. Here's the cerebellum cut across. You see the white that I just stuck it in?
Yeah.
It looks like a branch tree, tree of life, arbor vitae, arbor vitae, however you want to pronounce it, right? That, can't see it that good, but that's where the fourth ventricle would be down in here. It's just the white, So if I put the pointer like that, and I say, what is that white matter there? Structure, arbor vitae. What is the organ, or what is the whole surrounding thing? Cerebellum, right? And so it's kind of torn up, but here you can see the corpus callosum. Let's go in here. See the corpus callosum. And then that hollow area up in there will be a lateral ventricle. And then I wouldn't do it on here, but the thalamus would be like in this area. It's kind of torn up right on this one. This is kind of old. So here's the thalamus.
Which one's the corpus callosum?
Right here. So if I put this, so if I go, what is that white C-shaped structure? Right. Here's the pons. See it poking out a little bit. This technically would be the cerebral peduncle right there. See it? And
no, can you do that again?
Cerebral peduncle, pons, medulla, and this goes on down into the spinal cord. Medulla oblongata. And then here it's kind of cut off. See, everything's torn up here. This brain's, I guess, is from last semester. It's kind of old, but that is the where the optic nerves will be crossing, the optic chiasm right there. And unfortunately, this one's torn up. Sometimes you can see a big old olfactory bulb. That might have been part of it. You know, there'll be like a bulb and a track running in this direction here. Unfortunately, it's torn up here. It's running in that direction. So it's not a whole lot I can ask off of these, because, especially these torn up ones. Basically, I can go, what's a generalized name for a bump? You go gyrus. What's a generalized name for an invagination? That would be a sulcus. The shiny material,
Pia mater.
that's pia mater. So you don't really see arachnoid or dura on this. And, you know, the fissure here. I doubt I would even do that. I'm not going to do central sulcus on them. I'll only do it on a model, right? Because the things are kind of weird.
So what's the hollow area called again?
Hollow area. Oh, the lateral ventricle up in there. See, you can kind of see.
Is that the memory body?
I don't know. No, that looks like it's part of the corp. That looks like it's part of that optic chiasm. And their pineal gland will be back. That's probably it right there. But like I said, it's hard to tell. It's kind of on this end, right? You know, and what else? So all I can do, so just general stuff. What's the shiny stuff? Pia mater. I go, what is that? Vermis. What is the whole organ? Cerebellum. So the pons, I'd probably do it on a cross section like this, or on a sagittal section. So that would be pons. Cerebral peduncle, medulla. Arbor vitae is a good one to do on this, right? Cerebellum's going. Corpus callosum's pretty good. I'd probably find a little better one that's hopefully not so torn up. So technically I would be touching the thalamus, you see, because remember the third ventricle is like this, and the palms would be the thalamus around it. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you can see it, but this should. Sometimes you can get it under here, but the aqueductus sylvius would be flowing. It's probably like a little underneath that area right there. Oh, and on them I wouldn't point at it, but remember you have your 4 bumps. 1, 2. That's corpora quadrigemini, but you're only seeing 2 of them. Remember, because this is I wouldn't do it on this. I'd stick to the big things on this, like medulla oblongata,
Ponds.
pons, arbor vitae, cerebellum, maybe cerebral peduncle, corpus callosum would be good. Just gyrus and sulcus maybe, and then pia mater. Yeah, it's not a whole lot. So, see, their frontal lobes are so here, but you can see that's not a very big brain compared to us. But their balance is unbelievable. You ever seen how, like a bighorn sheep just goes straight up a mountain? It's amazing. So, I wonder, is that why maybe this is kind of large?
It's a silly question
relation.
for you.
Yeah.
Does any CSF actually travel inside the brain, or is it?
No, so it's in the ventricles. Yeah.
Okay, but like that hollow area with CFS?
Yeah, so in those lateral ventricles. Yeah, so it's in the ventricles and outside. It shows you the pathway that it all circulates through.